Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of New World with your host Butter MDKC. So we're just gonna start warming up for today's video, but in the meantime, I'd like to talk to you guys about a video I saw. So you know how people always talk about the early worm gets the bird, how the early bird gets the worm, and how there are night owls. Usually, society tells us that, the early risers are the ones who usually are the go-getters, and you see all of those people, they're like, my 5 a.m. wake up schedule. It's awesome, right? And you're like, okay, cool. So I get it, but do I have to wake up early to be successful? And that now apparently is not the case. So that's good news for us people who can't abide by a regular schedule, is all I'm saying. But basically, it's like 9 genes within our DNA strand that actually show whether or not a person should be waking up earlier or waking up later, is more productive in the morning or is more productive in the evening. And it really makes sense when you think about it, because on an evolutionary level, you would need to have people who would always be looking out for the tribe, right? So because there was animals that could be predators, and you'd need to have somebody that could shout a warning if something was happening or if another tribe was invading. Whatever the case, it makes sense that you'd need to have somebody awake at times when most other people are sleeping. And he explains that most people do stick to the regular daytime schedule, which is just, you wake up around when the sun gets up and you start to get tired when the sun goes down. That's like 55% of the population. I'll link the video that I watched in the description, as well as a questionnaire where you can find out what sleep type you are. But see, as I was doing that questionnaire, I remembered this principle in psychology, which is like a questionnaire bias, which basically makes questionnaires usually a little unreliable. So let's pause the tape here for a second. So this guy, he's from another faction, right? So in New World, factions are like teams that you're on. And he was just about to teleport, probably back to safety. He had probably just finished the same quest I was about to finish. But see, the thing is that if you see somebody from another team, you're not supposed to just let him go like that. And even though he was between me and my quest, and I could have just waited like 3 more seconds for him to go, I'll just let you guys see what I decided to do instead. I threw a spear at him, at his back, because that's what you do. You attack a person in a vulnerable position from behind. But then, joke was on me because I got stuck, and he just kept hitting me, and I died. But a buddy of mine, Dark King Blue, was Dark King Blue. You know what your name is. He was right behind me, so he was able to come back and save me, and it was amazing. And the other guy was not happy because, first of all, he was just gonna go home, and then second of all, he got a spear in his back, and then third of all, another dude came and killed him. And so, as we were about to leave, he started throwing arrows at us, and so we just kind of took that as target practice, and we just started attacking. But he was really just baiting us to give him time for his friends to show up, and then he would kill us. So we just went, it's for a scenic walk. But anyway, so the whole point was that the questionnaire bias is this interesting thing where basically when somebody answers a questionnaire, even though you should be completely honest in the questions, our mind will usually change the answers to the things that we would like to be more like. So in many cases, a person who is like a little shy but a little outgoing will usually test out as a more outgoing person because they see themselves as somebody who could be more outgoing. And so it becomes more of like I would like this, and it's completely subconscious. It's not something that you're thinking about. I mean, maybe some people might be doing it consciously. But so I thought about that. And so as you answer the questionnaire, try to think about not what you would like to be more like, because maybe you'd like to be more of an early riser, or maybe you'd like to think that you're more of a night owl, but just try to be honest with yourself and try to think about, in your history as a human being on this planet, usually what's more likely to be the case, and then answer the questions in that way. Because when you're aware that questionnaire bias exists, you can combat it by basically answering questions in a more thoughtful manner. And rather than just choosing the first choice that comes to mind, thinking to yourself, is that really me? Or is that somebody who I'd like to be? So yeah, so that's my 2 cents for today. You could take the questionnaire, I'll put it down in the description, and you could let us know in the comments what kind of sleep scheduler you are, because it's just cool to know this. That way you'll know when you're supposed to be most active, right? When it makes sense for you to wake up, and when it makes sense for you to go to sleep, and when you can get the best amount of work done and have the most creative output. And just being more self-aware like that can change things in a great way. So Obviously, we all still need to abide by 9 to 5 schedules or whatever our work schedule might be. But, you can know for yourself when is the best time to be creative and when it makes the most sense for maybe you to do something for yourself, work on a side project or do something that's outside of just your usual schedule. Well, I just think that's cool. But back to the game. As you guys saw in the first arena, we didn't do too well. They had good archers, they had good swordsmen, and we didn't play as a team maybe, and so here I was trying to shoot this guy down. But then I whipped out the spear at the wrong time, and then his buddy came and he just killed me. And there was a lot of that happening. There was a lot of them shooting arrows with really good precision, whereas I didn't have the same advantage. I kind of just shot arrows to wherever I saw people moving, but then every time they attack, every time they move, you know how it is, they start to become just a blur in the distance. So we gave it a solid try. I would give us a solid 6.5 out of 8. And yeah, man, we held our own. Arenas are always fun. I would say I have to improve my aim. Obviously, you could always get weapons that have more damage. You could always work a different strategy. But really, my biggest weaknesses are going to be aim and timing. And, oh man, that flamethrower just... You really shouldn't stand in front of a flamethrower. That's never going to be a good idea for you. But yeah, that and dodging. Honestly, learning how to dodge is so useful here, especially when you have a character like this one that because he's a bowman and he's dexterity, he requires very light armor to be nimble and be able to run away from heavy attacks, which I did not do, at least not well. An attempt was made. This one was actually a really close game because we did go 2-2. And it was just in the last minute that they were really able to get us. I don't know, it was a pretty close game. So in those close games, you think that, our abilities were pretty on point. So I killed this ghost here. I went back to town, and that's basically it, guys. That's the end for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to make more videos like this. If you like them, you can leave in the comments what you like about them, and then I'll make more things like that. But that's all for today, guys. So you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. And if you like this content, please consider subscribing. Bye!